Good morning. I've got a client who would like me to take these two twin size headboards and combine them into a queen size headboard. These pieces are part of a set that's at least 50 years old, includes dresser drawers, that kind of thing. They're just looking for an economical way to make this into an acceptable headboard that will bolt onto the end of a steel bed frame. So with that in mind, these headboards are 39 inches and a queen size bed is 60 inches wide, and that would be 60 inches for the mattress. Okay, and the frame bolts onto here, so the mattress goes almost all the way to the edge of this. And so we're going to have to take about 9 inches off of each side. Okay, so that would bring us to here. So what I'll be doing is cutting down here and joining these together. So watch on and enjoy. I've made a sled to hold the headboard in exactly the position I need to make a very perpendicular cut down the line. It'll be 30 1/4 inches from the exterior here to the interior. The sled has spacers to correctly hold all the pieces at the right height, because each one of these cross pieces is a different distance from the back of the legs. I'm using a 50-pound weight as an extra hand to help me out. I've got a little board here to slip under here to catch this piece, and I've got full support. So when I raise the blade, I'll just go ahead and push this through, keeping it up against the fence. And I've got a support roller back here that's helping me on the takeoff. And as I cut through, the roller over here will pick up the end of that leg. I'll go ahead and slip this in as I'm cutting, pressing down all the time, and finish the cut. Okay, I've got the two headboard pieces cut. And thanks to the sled, which held the material very firmly, it's a very good cut. They match up nicely. Now I'm going to go ahead and connect these two. What I'll do at each of these joints is use dominoes. I'm using an 8mm by 50mm domino, a pair here, 3 here, 3 here. I'll go ahead and cut those, and then I'll go ahead and think I'll probably attach a little plywood backer across this joint to strengthen it. Okay, I've installed all the dominoes and glued it up and clamped it up. And on these joints, because I knew there'd be some glue squeeze out, I used a product called Waxy Lit from Lee Valley. It's kind of a wax that you rub on, and it's a release agent. It allows the glue that contacts, that it comes out, to release. So here's a little hunk of glue that's squeezed out, and it just pulls right out. Although the dominoes did a good job of aligning at least the backs of these pieces in a nice even plane, they can't do anything to align these two center panels. Now these panels, here's the cutoff, that's particle board, veneered, about 5/8, a little less than 5/8. So what I need to do is put a backer here to even these out. So I've made a backer of approximately 1/4 inch Baltic birch plywood, a little less than 1/4 inch, of course it's in metric. And I've drilled a series of holes with 3/4 inch stainless steel screws. I'll glue this down and draw up the panels to this backer board in an attempt to make a nice, even, level, coplanar surface. Okay, I've got these two panels coplanar, but still there's something missing. You see trim, gold trim on the edges and the top. So I went ahead and took the gold trim off of the, all the trim off of the waist panels, waist side of the panels, so that I could install these in the center like so, with the gold trim intact, and give this a more finished look, as though this was how the headboard was designed in the first place. So I've scribed lines, and I'm now using a chisel to cut through the wood on a miter. Okay, the center trim has been installed now. Now I'm going to concentrate on the attachment points for the frame. The original bed frame had these kind of slide-in bed connectors where you could slide the rails in. We're going to use a bolt-on bed frame, so I need to fill this gap on each side, and then cut this down about 1/8 of an inch, put a filler piece in there to make a nice flat area for this bed frame to bolt onto. So that's what I'll do next. Now I'm cutting the bedding area for the metal frame to fit on. The metal frame flanges will fit right about here, and because this leg had a taper in it, I needed to cut down until I got a flat all the way to where the leg is going to sit. Next I'll take a piece of cherry and I'll cut it to fit and glue it on in there and bring it down so it's level with the rest of the leg here, and this will give me a good firm bedding for bolting on the metal frame. In order to cut that piece out, I've made a little jig here to hold a router and set the bit to go 1/8 inch into the material, and this will give you a nice sharp edge here and a nice flat surface for gluing. Now all I have to do is use the chisel just to cut the rounded corners here. Make them nice and flush, nice and square. I've filled in the depressions under here and attached a strip of wood as a mounting for the flange on the bed frame. Then I went ahead and stained the wood here, here, and up here where I had done some work. And to do the staining, I'm using aniline dyes, which are water-based dyes that you can mix up. And I started out with an antique natural cherry, and that was a little too red. So then I took my little mixture and added a little bit of, I think it was dark walnut. Mixed that up, went ahead and applied that right over the other dye, because the nice thing about anilines is that when you apply some dye over a piece of wood that's already been dyed, the two mix together to give you a new color. So I did that with the dark walnut. Then I went on and added a little bit of Mission Brown, and then that was a little too red, so I went and added a little bit of yellow to offset that. Finally got it to where the color of the new wood was about the same as the color of the old. So now I'm going to go ahead and line up the frame here so I can mark the holes for where the attaching bolts go, and drill those holes, and we'll be done. Well, there we are. You can see how the bed frame is bolted to the headboard, and to tell you the truth, that headboard almost looks like it was meant to be a queen size from the beginning. And we go around, I'll show you how we connected down here at the bottom. Just a couple of lag bolts into the frame. The manufacturer of the frame did not make the flange perpendicular to the frame, so I had to use some washers so that I could get the headboard to stand perfectly vertically. And here you can see how I strengthened that back panel with the plywood, and I think that's going to last a good long time. Seem to be very very solid. So all in all, I think this job turned out nicely, and I appreciate you watching.